All right, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, stream is up, it looks like. Let me just go double check it real quick. But yeah, should be a pretty freaking sweet day. Let me go to my YouTube studio real quick. One thing I was noticing is you notice in every single comment, like every single top comment on every freaking video now, is just like, oh, 2 views in 13 seconds, bro fell off. Like, why is that now just the default dumb comment? Like, the joke was it probably wasn't even that funny the first time, but it was maybe funny like one time, and now that's all anybody freaking does. It's just, 27 views in 30 seconds, bro fell off. I don't know why I'm sounding so jaded about this. It's just really obnoxious. Okay. Let me take a look at my stream here, make sure it's up. Awesome. Let's take a look at it here. Anyway, yeah, I feel like every other month there's like a new weird comment that everybody's posting on their, like, everybody's just posting on every single video now. And I don't even know why you do it. Like, maybe there's some value, because it's like sometimes I'm like, if I see somebody's posting that, if they're like, oh, bro fell off, that they didn't get, more views in 30 seconds. Sometimes I'm like, are they trying to like drive traffic to their own channel? But no, because I can see their own channel and they don't have anything on it. So it's bizarre. So I'm just making sure. Okay, cool. We're all good. We had one viewer pop in for a second. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm stoked today. We're doing the Comet Observatory. So, song from Super Mario Galaxy. This is for my series on making this is for my series on making Nintendo lo-fi. And this one I thought would be kind of an interesting one to do. I think it's gonna be kind of tough because it's in 3/4 and it uses kind of a lot of different chords. What's typically good for lo-fi music is music that is simple at the base of it. So the last two I did were the title theme from Ocarina of Time, which is very simple. It really just uses 2 chords. It just goes bum 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 ba-da-dum, bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-da-dum. Super simple. And the next one I did was, let me turn this up. Next one I did was Bramble Blast from Donkey Kong Country 2, one of my favorite songs, and that one was just a couple chords as well. I think it was like 4 chords. Something like that. Comet Observatory, though, however, has got a lot more going on. So I started this yesterday. I haven't mixed it or anything. Something that I typically do when I'm creating music in Logic is I will, like, a lot of times I'm creating my music late at night because it's after work, and I typically finish the last bit of like the music that I'm making at like 10 or 10:30, then I go to bed. So what I'll do before I leave every night, though, is I open this little note section here. If you want to get to that, you just hit this little notepad icon up in this corner. So you hit that, and then that pulls up kind of this guide where you can write notes down. So I'll write in kind of all the tasks that I need to do the next day. So this one says edit the first chords of track 30. Track 30 is my electric piano here. I typically, when I'm writing down what I need to edit, I will list it by the track number because it's easier than saying like electric piano, because I've got 2 electric pianos. I'm gonna get rid of this first one though because I don't need this anymore. That was an old one. Let me delete this track. So that's what I got going on so far. And the track that I need to edit right here is this electric piano. Listening to it now, I think it just has too much going on. I like the melody, but it definitely needs a rework. Let's mute that track. Yeah, just a couple tips. When it comes to listening to your music back, next to all your instruments here, you've got 3 buttons, a record button, or recording enabled, so it just means you can record on that track. Solo just makes it so it's the only track that'll play. So I just did that there. And then the M is mute, so you can mute the entire track. So typically if I need to listen to stuff in isolation, I'll just hit the solo button and be like, okay, what does this sound like? Kind of a cool little sound, right? I don't know if I'm going to use it. I'll probably layer something over it as well. Boom, boom. That's just a synth noise. And for the mute, I can be like, okay, I don't want to listen to this electric piano. I need to figure out what I want to do with the drums, because I mean right now you can hear, let me mute these. This is what my current drum track sounds like. It's decent, but I'm wondering if there should be like a something a little bit like kind of pushing the entire thing forward just a little bit more. Let me see what I got here. I'll worry about that later. For now, we're gonna start doing more electric piano. So, we had let's see. So, D, F sharp, G, G minor, A, 7, D. That's what I'm going to put on this. Okay, cool, let's do it. Pull my little pedal over. One thing I was also going to mention is that my setup that I'm using currently, it's decently low tech. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the cheapest setup because it's not, because my computer is pretty nice. I do have an iMac. However, I did get the iMac from a job. I worked for a marketing company for a couple months, and they gave me this iMac, and I'm gonna keep it when I quit. So that was nice. My keyboard is an lofi Q88. I can't remember how much they go for. Let me pull that up real quick. Q88. It's just a MIDI keyboard. It looks like here they're currently selling for $230. You can find them used for like $150. If you're looking for a MIDI keyboard, I'm always just going to recommend just go. First thing you should always do when looking for a MIDI keyboard is go onto Marketplace, like Facebook Marketplace, and see if there's anything available near you. If there's not, then you can look at buying a MIDI keyboard. I love my Q88. It's got semi-weighted keys, which means the keys register velocity. So if you hit them harder, it sounds harder in the thing. Semi-weighted, however, does not mean that they feel like real piano keys. That's what's called weighted hammer action. My piano out in our living room has that. It's an older electric piano that I have out there that I use when I'm just playing regular piano pieces and I'm not doing like music writing. But anyway, Alessis is it's a good keyboard. It's like a very utilitarian keyboard. You don't really need to get the 88 key model. That's what I have though. It's the full length of the piano. They do make like a 49 key and even some smaller ones. And then they have like an octave switching button on them so you can mess with those octaves down there. I'm just kind of weirdly particular about wanting 88 keys because I've been playing piano for like 15 years, which just feels more natural to me. But the reality of it is that I really only use like 4 octaves on my keyboard anyway, so I don't really need the whole thing. I was just kind of weirdly particular about that. It's currently sitting on a folding table that you can buy from Walmart for like $20. And I bought a pedal for it that was also like $10. I've got, again, my iMac. The music software I use is called Logic Pro. That does cost $200, but there is a 90-day free trial of it, so you can always try it out. If you don't want to pay money for it, you can always use Ableton, which is a DAW that is free, or you can use GarageBand, which if you have, I think it's on other, you can get it on other computers as well, but if you have any sort of Apple product, GarageBand will be on it. It'll actually look pretty similar to Logic. It just gives you less features when it comes to like the amount of tracks you can put in, all of the instruments you have, and then all of your like mixing and mastering options. But if you're just trying to get stuff out on paper, then I think that's GarageBand's a totally cool choice. I just got my 90-day free trial of Logic and I really liked it. And then I had some money left over from a paycheck from my day job, and so I decided to buy Logic. I think it's a worthwhile investment because it's $200 and it's not like a monthly subscription. You just get it for the rest of your life. You get every update that comes with it, so I really like that. But yeah, overall my tech is not really, it's not super like fancy or anything. The big reason for that is because I don't have a lot of money. But I do, I do think I am lucky to have like kind of this easy setup. But it doesn't take that much to start making music. What you really just need is an idea in your head. And then if you do start making music, if you're really interested in doing that, my suggestion is always going to be just start recreating songs that you know and you love. Like 2 perfect examples of this, in my opinion, if you wanted some really good songs to recreate, would be, they're actually up, I've made shorts about them. They would be No Surprises by Radiohead and Redbone by Childish Gambino. Both songs have really great production on them. trying to match up what they're doing sonically is kind of a fun little puzzle, but they're also really similar when it comes to their chords. Another thing I should mention is that making music, there is kind of a level of technical skill that is involved with it. Like, I think one of the reasons that I've kind of have a head start in making music is because I've been playing piano for so many years. I was lucky enough that my parents forced me to take piano lessons when I was young. I took them for like 4 or 5 years, started when I was 8, but I have been playing piano since then. I'm 25 now. It's funny, I told somebody earlier that I've been playing piano for 15 years. I've been playing for 17 years, which is kind of crazy. I do think there's you need to kind of have that baseline piano skill, some understanding how chords work, because that is really going to serve as your baseline for creating music. There's a lot of people that play really well by ear and they can make really great stuff, but I do think at any point where you can kind of learn just some of the theory, you don't need to go crazy in depth with it. Part of me really does not like some of the music community that's like really prestigious and gets all like super into theory. We're not talking about like fancy composers here. We're talking like YouTube comments on Jacob Collier videos. That stuff kind of bothers me just because I feel that people are like just so not like elitist about it, but they're so like you have to know the musical theory and like I don't know. I think music should be a lot less math than it currently is. But yeah. And then you just start making music and put it up and see if people listen. I've been super stoked because my most recent short that I posted is doing really well. It's about to hit 4,000 views, which is really good for me. My previous best short did like 2.8 thousand. And it was kind of a nostalgia bait Avatar The Last Airbender thing, so I knew it would do pretty well. But this one's getting close to 4,000. It'll definitely hit it. And I've got 6 new subs from it, which is super sweet. It's got 120 likes. 3 of them just disappeared for some reason. Now it has 119. But anyway, so that's kind of like when it comes to making music, just get the materials you need and then just start putting stuff down on paper, start recreating stuff that you like. Okay, that was a long time, and now I need to actually remember the chords. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I probably should have I need to put that D major chord at the end of it actually. So one other trick for creating music in here, whenever you start a recording, it's always going to give you, it automatically gives you a 1-bar count-in. I, however, wanted to do a 2-bar lead-in because I'm playing in 3/4 right now, not 4/4, and 3 beats is kind of not much. And I think whenever I'm making music in 3/4, I'm typically thinking of it in like segments of 6, like 2 bars at a time. So this count-in button here is what does that. If you right-click it, you can have it do however many bars you need to count yourself in. So that's why I'm doing 2 bars right now. It's just easier for me. That's the way I like to do it. Let's go again. I will say this whole song is a lot less jazzy than the stuff I've done earlier, which is cool. It just feels very different. So whenever you've played anything too, here's a tip for you as well. What I like to do pretty much every time, unless I'm doing something that's intentionally out of time, or I'm doing something that is, I want to have like a cool piano roll on it, what I'll do is I'll right click it, and then you'll want to go down to quantize right here. And what this does is it actually takes all the notes you've played and snaps them exactly on the beat. And when you quantize stuff, you have different options for how you want to, where you want them to be snapped to. So again, this is kind of an instance of how knowing at least a little bit about reading music and music theory and how it's created is good, because this will teach you, this will kind of help you with this stuff. So everything I'm playing is on the beat. So I want to quantize it, snap it over the quarter note. Hit that. You can see they all kind of move. Now if you look at our piano roll down here, everything lies exactly on the beat. So now it's going to be exactly lined up. Another trick for you is that, I didn't even do it for this one yet. Every single note has a velocity rating. That's what this is right here. If I click on this one, it would tell me how hard I hit the note. So velocity is registered when you play a note. So very low velocity, very high velocity. What you can do is select the entire track. And if you go down to MIDI transform, this lets you take all of these notes in that segment and make them all a fixed velocity. So I'll say, I want them all to be, let's do 65. Then you hit select and operate, boom. Every single note now has been turned into a note with 65 velocity. Just makes the whole thing sound a lot more even. Again, this isn't always the best option because sometimes you want more expression in your music. So I don't always do a fixed velocity on this stuff, but I typically do in lo-fi because when in lo-fi, most of your, I feel like all of kind of the interesting sonic stuff that you do is not coming from the physical way you're playing the keyboard. It's coming from the mixing process and kind of where you're panning your instruments to, your automation of how loud and soft you're making things, all that kind of stuff. So I like to set, when I'm doing lo-fi, I like to set pretty much everything to a fixed velocity so that way it's just one less thing to worry about. You can also, another kind of trick here is that if you're trying to set an entire track to a velocity, and I should kind of explain kind of how this works. Every one of these is considered a track. Every section of a track is a segment, and the entire thing I just call a song or a project. But if you want to select an entire track, you just click on it right here. It'll select everything. Then you can right-click, MIDI transform, fixed velocity, 65, select and operate, boom. Now, everything in that track has been turned into that. I'm not sold on how this sounds sonically yet. It sounded like somebody knocked on my door, but I live kind of in a weird, yep, there's nobody. Actually, I live upstairs. I live on the top floor of a cafe, and nobody really comes to my door ever, so they'd have to pass through 3 gates to get to me. That's why I like it. But yeah, it wasn't anybody. I just hit 4,000 views on my short. That's awesome. No new subs since this morning, but that's okay. I'm at 80 subs. Oh no, I just got a new one. I'm at 81 subs. Awesome. That's the fun part of being a really small YouTuber. Is a single sub is super cool. I actually don't know where it came from. It would be sweet if it came from my latest lo-fi. No, it's only 2 subs. No idea where that last one came from. But anyway, 81, so 19 away from 100. If you don't know, in order to achieve full monetization on videos, you need 5,000 subs. So obviously I'm very far away from that. But I've been making pretty good ground almost entirely on shorts. So I'm definitely going to try to record some shorts today. But I kind of wanted to just make some music today. Recording shorts is fun, but I'm not a huge video editor. It's not my kind of thing. I much prefer just making the music. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we need to get the melody for this. Also, full transparency here, I don't want to seem like I'm being scummy about this. Sometimes if I'm playing a song that has kind of a trickier melody, I don't always do this, I just did it this time because I want to make things a little bit faster. I'll pull up like some sheet music that has just the melody on it, and then I'll make sure to only take that part of the sheet music and like use it to learn stuff. I try to be really careful. I don't ever want to like steal anybody's work, and I don't feel like I'm doing it this way. I'm just taking a melody that's already in the Nintendo song and then basing this off of anyway. I just have it written out, which helps me just play the melody faster. That's the only part of that music that I'm even using. I don't like listen to anybody else's lo-fi to make my own. In fact, I very intentionally do not listen to other lo-fi music because I want my sound that I use to be fully my own. I don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing. I just have this idea in my head of what lo-fi music sounds like, and that's what I do. So, yeah, just full transparency there. But here we go. So, that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. I wouldn't have expected to go. I actually just played Super Mario Galaxy like a couple weeks ago. I played through Galaxy, Sunshine, and 64 because I have the 3D All-Stars on my Switch. So I did all that, just a couple weeks ago, all three of them. And surprise, surprise, they're awesome. They're such great games. I do think out of all of them, though, I think 64 is probably my favorite. But to be fair, I have a ton of nostalgia associated with 64. I really grew up on that game. The Nintendo 64 was kind of the first console I ever really played. I had a Super Nintendo before that my brothers used, but I really am kind of grew up on the Nintendo 64. It is funny because I do think most of my favorite retro games are all Super Nintendo games, but I love Super Mario 64. And it was interesting because this time when I played it, I did it typically almost every time I play 64, I'll get all 120 stars. This last time, because I was just trying to play through them all really quickly, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm only going to get the amount, I think you need 80 stars to beat the game. I'm only going to do 80 stars. I'm not going to do 120. And I did that and I actually really freaking loved it. You can just kind of pick which ones you want to do and which ones you don't want to do. So I avoided all of Rainbow Ride, all of TikTok Clock. I think I got one or two in TikTok Clock, some of the easier ones, but it's kind of cool. You can kind of pick and choose the missions that you want to do rather than having to do all of them. Because then in Sunshine, you need to beat the first 7 levels of every single world, and there are some not great levels in Sunshine. Sunshine, I think, it's kind of weirdly unpolished for a Mario game. I think it's my hot take that I think it might be the worst 3D Mario game, but the worst 3D Mario game is still better than the vast majority of games. That's weird because I don't even know how I want that to sound. that's how I want it to sound. Is that really how it goes? We're gonna have to pull this up really quick on YouTube just to make sure. Because that doesn't sound right to me, but I'm probably just going crazy. Comet Observatory. Yeah, it is that. Okay, sorry. This is why you shouldn't use sheet music like I do, because it goes wrong. It's just a little bit off. It's just a third off. It's not that big of a deal. But I would like to do mine a little bit more accurate. So I'll do that. Sorry, that sounded really weird. Okay, cool. Let's record. I also haven't done the intro yet. I'm gonna probably do that later. Okay. And that's why you find your music before you start recording. There's definitely a mess up in there. We're gonna edit that on a piano roll, I think. Let's take a look here. Where are we at here? This should be a D. And let's quantize this to the 8th. And we're gonna do what I showed you this earlier. We're gonna go fixed velocity on this. I should probably be doing this for all of it. Let's take the entire thing. Okay, the entire thing for some, oh, okay. And we're gonna do fixed velocity. Let's just put it at 65 for now. That might be too loud, but we'll see. Cool. Oh, hold on. What are you doing? What is that garbage? There you go. Okay. And we do need to get this synth in here. As we were doing before. We'll get that guy going here in a second. Oh, we got a viewer in the house. We're just making some Comet Observatory music. Ba-dum-bum. Made famous by Super Mario Galaxy. I'm gonna be doing I think that's what it's got to be then. Ba-ba-bum, ba-dum, Ba-da-bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Quantize to the quarter note, not to the half note. Quantize to the quarter note. There we go. So quantize, like I said before, that's what pull all the notes to their exact position. So you can see they're all lined up perfectly now. Den's rolls. How's it going? You're my first chatter ever. That's awesome. I mentioned before, but well, I have the day off from work today. When I'm not doing YouTube making music, I actually do marketing. It's my degree's in. Yeah, I'm just chilling out making some music today, doing some lo-fi stuff. I've got 2 other lo-fi things up on my channel right now. I did a Donkey Kong song and a Zelda song as well. Kind of 2 of my favorite songs here. Now we're doing Super Mario Galaxy, which I do very much love that game. Alright, so like I showed earlier, we're going to take everything in this track, we're going to match them all to the same velocity. So the velocity, when you're playing an instrument, you're playing a MIDI keyboard like mine back here, is how hard you're pressing the keys. So low velocity sounds very soft, high velocity, louder. But there's a trick you can do that takes everything and makes it all the same velocity, so that way you don't hear kind of those imperfections while you're playing, because I like to take all of the, do all kind of that changing of the sounds and how stuff sounds, and do that all later when I'm doing my mixing and mastering. So you just right click on your tracks, you go to MIDI transform, you hit fixed velocity, and then you can choose how loud you want them. So 65 is kind of my baseline for this. Hit select and operate. Now all of it is the same volume. And now we can hear that a little bit better. There we go. And then it kind of just repeats over again, so. Let's listen to this for a second before I start thinking about what else I want to be doing. There's kind of some lag on hey, you got a new sub. We're at 82 now, we're almost at 100. I'm kind of debating on whether I want to add more percussion into the beats. So if you see back here, we've got, so I'll isolate our current beat that we've got going on. So I'll mute these other tracks. This is what we're currently doing. My favorite bands. I've got a couple favorite bands. They're all kind of weird. Well, one of them is actually very basic. I love the Beatles. I don't have my record player in here, but I got a lot of Beatles records. Abbey Road's my favorite Beatles album. I've listened to the Beatles since I was like 6 or 7. When I was growing up, I have 5 siblings, and we all shared a very small iPod Nano, and on it was pretty much strictly the Beatles, Michael Jackson, and Weird Al. I always loved the Beatles. My other favorite bands, there's 2 other ones. Second is Modern Baseball. So Modern Baseball is kind of an emo punk band. I'll give you a little sample of what Modern Baseball sounds like here. Let me pull it up in my music app. And this is the nice thing about being a streamer that only has 1 viewer right now, is that YouTube can't copyright claim me because I'm not making any money in the first place. Let me pull up here. Oh, another band I do love is the Oh Hellos. I've been listening to them like crazy lately. They've been super fun. But anyway, let's go to Modern Baseball here. Let me just look them up. Modern Baseball. So they're an emo punk band. This one right here is one of my favorite songs of theirs. Kind of like very kind of grungy. Super sweet, man. This whole Holy Ghost album's really freaking good. The only problem is they're not together anymore. They broke up as a band, which kind of sucks because, again, they are one of my favorite bands. So they only have 3 albums. They're all great, though. It's actually a band that my wife showed me when we were before we got married, when we were dating. My third favorite band is called The Deer Hunter. This band is insane. So they're kind of almost like a progressive rock band, or prog rock as people call it. They have 5 albums in a row that are all, it's one big story that's told across 5 different albums. So if you see here, we've got Act 4. This is the 4th album that they released in this series. It's actually the first one I listened to, and they're like not experimental, but they definitely do a lot of like orchestration in their music. Like, let's listen to Waves here because this song's amazing. Just, I mean, if you ever want any sort of, if you want to just be taken on a musical journey, please, for the love of everything that is holy, listen to Act 4, Rebirth and Reprise by The Deer Hunter, straight through, don't shuffle it. It is like an absolutely mind-blowing experience. What's also really cool is that since it's one kind of flowing story, they'll actually transition songs one into the other incredibly fluidly. So like, let's listen to this. This has now become a Davis talks about his favorite music stream, but I love The Deer Hunter and I want everybody to listen to them. So please go listen to them because they're way underappreciated. But anyway, like here's a transition here that goes from one song to the other. You'll hear it's super fluid. Right into the next song. Goodness. Well, you've just cursed me to listen to The Deer Hunter for the rest of the day now. I'll for sure be doing that later. This band is just amazing. And then one last band I do want to shout out is the Oh Hellos. So the Oh Hellos they're very folksy. I love this Deer Wormwood album. They use a lot of banjo. They kind of do some group vocals. They've got violin. It's like a super fun, almost like Celtic sounding band. Very like just super cool. They're a ton of fun. My soul, I feel the empty hole. Such a good band. Such a great band. And then they also have a really fun song. This is one of their most famous ones now because there was kind of a bunch of TikToks about it. It's so like, sounds like you're in a freaking it sounds like you're freaking surrounding the bard in a tavern. That's such a fun song to me. Oh yeah. Anyways, this whole album by the Oh Hellos, freaking amazing. Listen to that one. Now, back to what I set out to do. But please, if you have questions, please ask them. I love talking about music. I really do believe that if you're interested in writing music, sometimes people ask me like, hey, like, how did you learn how to write music? How did you do all this stuff? And there's kind of 2 answers to it. One is that I've been playing piano for like 17 years now, since I was 8. And I just play piano a lot. Metallica and Green Day. Metallica's freaking... I love watching Metallica, and I love watching Metallica now because those guys are old. They're like 60 years old, and they're still just absolutely freaking shredding it. I do like a lot of classic rock, but my tastes have just become so like weird and aesthetic sounding now. Like I love like the Oh Hellos that I'm listening to right now is mostly because I just moved out to Washington State. I live like right on the coast now. It's super awesome, and it's such a like a cool, like super green, kind of mystical looking place. I like that. And then again, I just love kind of punk music in general. So Modern Baseball, 100% recommend them. They're super fun, just like music going crazy. They've got some really great guitar riffs on them, and they've just got an absolutely godlike drummer. So such a fun band. Yeah, Metallica and Green Day are great. It's interesting. I don't listen to a ton of Green Day. I think I was like right before when Green Day was huge when I was growing up. Like if I was a couple years older, I would have been really into them, but I never got like super far into them. So I do need to give them more of a listen because I have so many friends that are super into Green Day. So I'll definitely be doing that. It's kind of funny. We're talking about Metallica here, then we immediately go to like the softest waltz sounding song you've ever heard in your life. My latest YouTube short's freaking popping off. That's really exciting. We're over 4,000 views on it now. 82 subscribers now. That's really fun. Okay, and then it definitely goes into, definitely repeats that. So what we're going to do here is, what I'm going to do is take 2 of our tracks here, 2 of these regions. If you right click on them, you can hit this join button. If you join the regions together, it makes them one long track here. That can sometimes mess up if you're using a pedal like I am, but I think we should be safe here. Yeah, we're good. And the reason you'd want to join tracks together like this is because then you can loop the whole thing. You could also copy and paste them, but I just want to go like this. There's our new loop. With the drums, it's not necessary to do that because it's just one long extended loop. When it comes to reading music here in Logic, anything that doesn't have a full break right here means it's 2 separate tracks that you've recorded separately. A partial break here, where it's just indented, means that it's one. It's one thing that's been looping for a long time. We've got another viewer in here. If you want a new viewer, if you're not, if you're okay with it, if you want to share your favorite band with us, that's what we were doing earlier. You can see whether you align more with my taste or with Denzrel's taste. So if you want to, go ahead. If not, you are totally fine. That is okay. We're just going to vibe and make some music. Okay, let's pull out these drums a bit more. And then let me just copy this one. Oh, here's a something like a trap you can fall into when you're making music in Logic when it comes to copy and pasting. So if you click on any section, you can copy it. You can either hit copy. I tend to just hit Control or Command C on my keyboard. So I'll just go hit it, Command C. Now when I go to paste it, I'm like, oh, I want to paste it right here. If I hit paste, it's going to show up on the track that I've selected and not the track that I want it to go on. It'll always be on the one that you've selected here. So hit Command Z to get rid of it. What you need to do is select the track you're on, put the playhead, that's what this is called, that's where you're at in the song, put it there, paste it here, and boom. Comes out where exactly where we need it. And And then what I think I want to do with this next section is I'm actually going to layer, another track, another instrument over these voice plugs, because that's what it kind of sounds like in the actual song. I might end up taking out the plug synth. What I'm probably going to be doing is taking this melody instrument here, and then later I'm going to pull it way down in the mix, so it's just kind of in the background. What I'll probably do as well is I'll probably pan it over into one side of the headphones or one side of the speakers, and then let the new melody come in the center of the mix. I don't know how long the stream is going to go. A lot of times I'll do my mixing and mastering in the morning because I'm tired, and mixing and mastering is like a completely different process. It's all about just listening to what you've recorded, putting it different places in the mix, all that kind of stuff. So I probably won't be doing that on this stream, but that's a good thing to know when it comes to creating music, in my opinion. Get everything you want done on paper, get it recorded. If it's terribly mixed, that's totally fine, because later you can go in and adjust all that stuff, fine tune it. For the most part, when you're actually creating your music... Oh, is my screen share frozen? You're not seeing any of this right now? I also haven't been doing much. Hold on. Wait just a second here. Bro, thanks for the tip there. Let me see. Let me go to OBS. See what's going wrong. Screen recorder. It's looking better now. Let me see if it's going now. Let me see. Got the mouse running around here. Okay. I restarted screen share in OBS. Okay, we should be good now. Thank you. Again. This is like, you're coming in clutch here, man. That's awesome. Anyway, here's what I was saying. Oh, I was saying that when you're recording music, typically what I will do is I'll go in and, okay, cool, awesome. What I'll do is I'll put everything down on paper, and then if I'm adjusting sounds, I'll just adjust them over here. That just brings the entire track volume down a certain amount. And later I'll go and do all the mixing, mastering, all that kind of stuff, which it's not super common for people to mix and master their own stuff, but I like that process. I think it's really fun. And I'm a huge stickler about how my stuff sounds in particular. I'd rather be able to do it all on my own. And last reason why you should mix and master your own stuff is that, so again, I'm just gonna copy this, paste it down here. Last reason why you should mix and master your own stuff is that mixing and mastering are typically a lot more needed skill when it comes to music versus just writing music. There's a lot of great people that write music, but sound editing, audio engineering is a much needed talent. There's typically more people writing music than there are mixing music. So in my opinion, it's a great thing to learn on your own, because you could actually pick up some work doing that for people. I haven't yet, but again, that's because I have a degree in marketing, so when I'm not doing this, I'm working a day job where I run Facebook ads for people. Now I, like every other person on the planet, would love for YouTube to eventually be a career opportunity for me, but I've got 82 subscribers right now, so obviously it's not. The tip with any content creation, anything you're doing on YouTube, and sorry this is becoming like a little rant on this, any content creation on YouTube, really, it just has to be a hobby. You have to be doing something you really like. If I did not love making music, I would not be doing this right now. I would not be streaming it. I would not be putting it up on my channel for any reason. I just love doing it, and I make the music for myself. I make it because I think it's fun. It's like a puzzle to me, and I think I've got a decent amount of talent when it comes to it. But if you ever go into any of this stuff being like, this is going to be my career, you're going to have a bad time. It's going to be stressful. you never want to go all in. That's why I'm like, get a day job that you like well enough. And then if you're like me and you have an extremely chill day job and you work from home, and I don't have anything to do today because I got all my work for the week done yesterday, or it's Thursday already, jeez. I got all my work done, by yesterday, then mess around, do whatever the heck you want. I think there's a note in here that doesn't sound right to me. It should be dipped lower, right? Right here. This right here doesn't sound right. Maybe it is right. Maybe it is right. I might change that later. We'll see. Ba-ba-bum-ba-dum-bum. It's probably something else in the mix that's making it sound off to me. Okay. So this is what I was talking about earlier, but I think my screen share was frozen, so I'll just show it again. Copying and pasting stuff. I'm going to copy this melody here, and I want to paste it onto a different track this time because I want to make another instrument that's doing exactly this stuff. So I'm going to select this track, put this playhead where I want it, and then paste it. I'm just going to hit Command V, and look, it all shows up there. So now we've got the same thing on the electric piano. But I definitely want a different instrument on this. So now we're gonna do another fun little aspect here, which is sorting through instruments over here until we find something that we like. I do love the sound of the electric piano, but I feel like I overuse it in my music, so I'm trying to get away from it. Let's bring this down. You can hear the pedal's missing on this one, because I didn't record it with the pedal. What is our glockenspiel sound? That might not sound bad if we take it all and move it all up an octave. So if we select these, we're gonna right click, go to MIDI transform, and we're gonna do, I believe it's just transposition. There's a different way to do this as well. We'll go transposition, and we're gonna add, oh wait, it should just be add 8. That's full octave. Let's see, it might be 9. I don't know how they notated it in here. Let's try it. Oh, sorry, they do half tones as well. So let's get rid of that. So it's gonna be 12. But I'm fairly certain there's a way to do this as well over here, but I'll just do it the way that I am more familiar with because that is just easier for me. MIDI transform, I don't think, yeah. Okay, we're going to transpose. There's not just one that's, yeah, okay. Transposition. I think it should be 12, but let's try. Did that bring us where we needed to go? Yeah. thing with the glockenspiel, that's what it's actually called, by the way. It's a German name. A lot of people just call it the bells, but glockenspiel is the proper name. I always like the idea of having the glockenspiel in there. The issue that you run into is that there's like kind of feedback when you hear the notes being played, and so if it's anywhere in the mix that isn't like in the front and center, you actually get kind of this weird feedback, and it sounds like it's out of tune. And I just think it's a little bit too abrasive. I like the vibraphone as well. But I think it just sounds too much like a toy, and I do think there's something to be said about the abrasiveness of when everything's like kind of being hit. In my opinion, it can be a little bit too much, especially kind of lo-fi is kind of music you want to like study to, right? So, in my opinion, I don't want to be putting super abrasive sounds in there. I think that's one thing I kind of messed up with on my Ocarina of Time lo-fi, is that sonically it ended up being too abrasive. And I to be fair, I could go in and totally like remix the way that the instrument sounds, but I don't want to do that right now. Sorry, I'm just checking. Got an email here about a recruiter reaching out to me for a job. Cool. Okay. Let me check one more thing. Thanks for chilling out for a second. I should probably be playing this. Maybe we just gotta go something super synthy on this instead. Synthesizer. Let's choose a lead synth. I also like to, or maybe honestly, so in the original song, the flute comes in, right? And again, I don't want this to be a one-to-one recreation of the original song, but I wonder if I could do something cool with the flutes, but instead of doing regular flutes, what we can do is we can use an instrument here called the mellotron. A mellotron was I think it was like the first synthesizer ever made. So a synthesizer is a piano that recreates the sounds of other instruments. A mellotron was, I think it was just about the first one ever made. So we have a couple sounds in here that do that, including a flute sound that I think sounds really cool because it's kind of warbly and a little bit off key. A little abrasive there with the pedal. Somewhere like right in the middle between those two, like I wonder if I go into the score here if it'll show the pedal. Where's the section? This is the section I'm looking at. Another reason why knowing music theory can kind of be good for making music. Again, I said this earlier. I don't think anybody was on the stream when I was talking about it earlier. I think music theory is really important, but it's not everything. A lot of people try to math their way into making good music. I don't think that works. I think if you get in the weeds too much about like music theory and microtones and we're gonna make a song that only uses half tones and we're gonna make this the best looking piece of music and make it technically just like this insane complex puzzle. I do think there's value in that, but I don't think it's everything. And unfortunately in the music community, especially on like YouTube comments, there are a lot of people that get really into music theory and kind of get almost kind of elitist about it, which I think is lame. I don't like that. So we're going to get rid of this pedal down here, but there is value in knowing music theory. I'm not going to say there isn't, because it helps to know how to read music, how music is notated. But anyway, I just deleted that pedal, so we should be good here. In theory, we should have been good, but we're not good. It's still going crazy on the pedal for some reason. I just have to re-record that section. But even if I were to use these Mellotron, I would bring it way the frick down in the mix. Again, it's just that first I deleted the pedal section in here, but for some reason, it's still going crazy. Oh wait, I now see my mistake. I'm looking at this one right here. Let's undo that. It doesn't really even matter. Let's go down here. Let's try this. So actually, I do like that. What I'll probably do is I'm going to shorten all the notes on this because I think in the first section here, they're just holding out a little too long. I can select all my notes here, pull them over here, shorten them all. Because in my mind, this synth right here, this is not going to be the... Okay, sorry, oh, I see, I shortened all of them. Okay, this right here is not going to be. This isn't going to be in the foreground. This is going to be kind of a background texture noise. I'll mute this. And then what I'll probably do is over these Mellotron flutes, we're going to put in a normal flute that's going to be kind of standing in the foreground this time. We're also going to probably put a filter over the Mellotron here to make it sound a little bit cracklier, a little bit low tech. It already kind of does, but again, I really want that these flutes here. The goal with the Mellotron flutes isn't to have them be our melody. We almost want them as texture in the background because I like the way they sound. Again, they take like just barely a second to find the correct pitch, which I think is a really cool sound, but not a cool sound if that's all that's in the foreground of your music. So what we want is something in the foreground that is like has, sorry, my YouTube short's popping the heck off right now. 4.6 thousand views. I really didn't think it would. It got like 200 views on TikTok. But I don't love TikTok as a platform. I much prefer YouTube because I watch like hours of YouTube a day, so I just like the platform in general. But I'm glad it's popping off. But anyway, we want this. You can hear my ADHD brain going right now. This should really just be texture in the background, and in the foreground, we should have an instrument that's a lot more resonant, an instrument that holds out longer, that kind of sustains that sound as we go through. So let's take a look at it. We're going to copy this. And we're going to paste it. And let's copy both of these. I'm going to paste it down here. We're going to record a pedal over this, so that way it holds out nice and long. Pull my pedal over. That was pretty good. I did release the pedal way the frick too early on one of these. I released it way early right there. Well, now it looks like a good pedal. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah. This little asterisk down here is a symbol for a pedal clear. We're gonna do is hopefully this works. We're gonna move it right behind. Yeah, there we go. Holds out a little bit longer now. Again, we'll probably put some effects on these later. What do I want to do with this melody though? I'm always just want to gravitate towards the electric piano because I think it sounds really cool. But like I said, it can be a little bit overplayed. Let's see. Phasing bells, what do you got for us? That might work. That sounds kind of cool. Like that, and then if we just take, because now we got to think about what we want to do with the Mellotron. Like I said, I think I want to throw a filter over it. So I'll show you kind of briefly how to make different audio effects, change the sound of your instruments. So that's one thing that's cool about Logic Pro versus GarageBand. I mentioned this earlier. Logic Pro, the software that I use, is really just kind of like fancy GarageBand. And GarageBand is Apple's software that you can use to make music. Logic is also made by Apple. I really like Logic. I've tried Ableton and what's called FL Studio now. It used to be called Fruity Loops. And I've looked at Pro Tools. I haven't done it because it's expensive. I guess Logic's not cheap either. But Pro Tools, you typically pay a monthly subscription for. I don't want to do that. Logic to me is really cool. I love the interface of it, but it's also really cool because you have all these instruments packed in. You can actually download more. What you can also do is add effects to any instrument you're messing with, or and just change the way the instrument itself sounds. So Logic just has a ton of versatility. And what's also really cool, and one thing I really like about, let me save my project real quick just so I don't ever lose, if my power goes out or anything, I won't lose anything. What's cool about Logic, in my opinion, is that it's a software that actually a lot of professional songwriters, sound engineers use. So chances are a lot of your favorite songs that you're listening to, like stuff that shows up on the radio as well, was made in either Logic or Pro Tools. Those are the two ones that are typically used. Logic I got on a sale for $100. It's typically $200, but it is a one-time fee, which I really like because I don't want to pay multiple times for a single software. I don't want to pay every month. So I got mine for $100, but there's always a 90-day free trial if you want to try it out. And a 90-day trial is a really good amount of time, and it's definitely enough time to see whether you're into making music or not. Because honestly, I love this stuff. Some people don't. Like my most recent short that I posted is kind of making fun of what music making is. Like the joke is it's like what people think music making sounds like, and it's me just going crazy, playing the piano, just me doing that kind of fun stuff. But the reality is, when you're making music like this, most of your time is spent looking at it, clicking your mouse and looking at a freaking screen, which I tend to really like. But for the longest time, I have 20 songs that I've written just on a piano. I didn't record them ever. I wrote lyrics to them. They're mostly just sad boy songs about when this is In the Fields Talk with Davis Moore. Anyway, they're mostly sad boy songs about when I was broken up with, because it was the saddest moment of my life. But it ended up being fine because I ended up marrying the girl that broke up with me anyway, so it worked out well. But anyway, a lot of my songs are from that time, or I wrote another song the other week. And most of my stuff used to just be piano, and I still love doing that as well. Out in our living room, we have another electric piano that's a lot bigger and doesn't connect to a computer, doesn't have MIDI, and I play that all the time. So all my stuff. Is there a little break here? A while back. I called it Caught Up. I think it's on my channel if I haven't taken it off yet. I've been trying to just kind of get rid of some old videos and make it more lo-fi sounding, but that might be on there. Anyway, I really like that song. I wrote that a couple weeks ago. Okay, audio effects on the flutes. What I'm just trying to say is that you don't need a whole bunch of money to start making music. You can use GarageBand, which is free. The more expensive part would be getting a MIDI keyboard. So I use an Alessi's Q88. It's like $200 if you buy it new. They go on sale really often for like $150 or $120. And I use a Q88, which means that it has all 88 keys on the piano. You don't need that. You could probably do just fine with a 49 key. I don't even use all 88 of my keys, but I've just played piano for so long I knew I wanted an 88. So I got it on sale for like $130. And it's sitting on like a $20 table from Walmart. And my desk I've got off of Facebook Marketplace for like $20. It's really crappy. This chair I also got with the desk like for really cheap, and you can listen to this thing. Listen to this. Like okay. Okay. It like groans all the time. When I'm recording vocals for other stuff, I have to like make sure I'm not messing around my chair because it'll like squeak and stuff. And then, the most expensive part of my setup is the freaking apartment that I pay rent on. And then I've got a computer. My computer is kind of nice. It's an iMac. I got it for work, for a job. Like they bought it for me. But you can totally do fine with just a laptop, whatever else you have. And then I bought a second monitor from like $30 on sale from Walmart. And my mouse is also a crappy Walmart mouse. You don't need a whole bunch of money to start making music. Barrier to entry is really low. And a lot of this stuff, especially MIDI keyboards, depending on where you're at, I would really look on Facebook Marketplace to see if they have anything available. That's what I would do. Okay, now we're really going to do an audio effect here. We're going to put an echo on it. So let's mute this here. Just turn the whole volume down for a second. And I'll show this too. I usually pull this over my other screen. You can see here. So this is how we create an echo effect. I'll go back here just to show it from the start again. If you want to add an effect to any instrument, you just click on the instrument. Over here is going to be your mixing panel. If you click down here, it's going to add a new audio effect, and then you can select from a whole bunch of them. I already selected echo. We're doing this now. These are the other effects they have put on here. This button makes it turn off or on. This button just lets you change the audio effect if you want to replace one. Button in the middle lets you adjust the actual settings of the echo, or whatever audio effect you're using. So an echo effect, you've got a couple options here. One is where you want the echo to come in, like how long afterwards you want to hear that second echo. So right now it's set to an eighth note. I typically set my echoes really low. Like dotted 30 seconds. I might even go down to a full 30 second. It's got a little bit more of an echo now. And then you can, it's disgusting music terminology, your dry and your wet sound. Your dry sound is typically the sound that's created from the first note. Your wet sound is the sound that's created afterwards. So I'll probably bring my dry down and my wet up a little bit. I've looked at that so many times because I do a lot of echo effects. I've never thought just how freaking kind of gross it is that we call them dry and wet sounds. Like I'll bring my dry sound up. So now you can hear the echo a lot more. The color is just how, it's so funny. There's a lot of stuff in music that you just kind of learn after a long time. Like, I was about to say, the color is just how light or dark the sound is, which makes sense to me, but maybe not to you. So you can kind of see what I did there, right? Put an echo effect on the mellotron, this track here, and let's bring it way down. It's probably a little bit too low. Now it's kind of got a cool little echo effect in the background. Because like I was saying earlier, I don't think the mellotron sounds good as a lead instrument, but as a background texture, I think it's really cool. And I'll mess with this bell sound later because it's a little bit too loud. We're gonna get rid of these and see how the whole thing sounds. Oh, and here's what we'll do as well. So here we have our kind of background synth sound. What I'm probably gonna do is actually pull this over here. So on the first pass through, one thing I like to do when it comes to my music is I like to layer more instruments as the song goes, pull some away, fade some out, that kind of stuff. So we start really similar, really simple. Hear that? Really chill at first. This freaking, my short is popping the heck off right now. That's crazy. Then we'll go into something more. Some dogs going crazy outside. we live like across the street from a family that has a rooster. That thing goes nuts every freaking morning. It's like at like 6 a.m. the thing just goes crazy. The sun kind of, I guess it rises late here, so I live right on the ocean. Like it's like a 2-minute walk that way. I live, about to dox myself here. I live in a town called Long Beach in Washington. I grew up in Washington, more inland. Went to Mexico for a year after high school, where I learned to speak Spanish. Entonces, wow, I can't remember. Si alguna persona aquí habla español, podría hablar contigo. Porque aprendí a hablar español cuando estuve en México un año como misionero por mi iglesia. So I do speak a little bit of Spanish. That's real. That's also from a video. Yeah. So I speak a little bit. I do my Duolingo every day. But I speak a little bit of Spanish. And then I went to Idaho for school. That's where I got my degree in marketing. It's where my wife as well. A very freaking cold place in Idaho called Idaho Falls. I was there for 4 years, honestly. Well, obviously 4 years because I graduated. I think I was there for like 5. And then came back to Washington so I could be next to my wife's brother-in-law who's in the Coast Guard out here. Anyway, I love Washington. It's an awesome state. I live in a very not crowded place and not expensive place in Washington. I love it. I guess another band, going back to bands that I like, another band I should shout out is MGMT. I've been listening to them like a ton this past week. I was in Florida last week with my wife's family and I was listening to them a ton. They have a very recognizable song that most everybody knows called Electric Feel. But they've kind of been an inspiration for me. I'm also working on some like music that has my vocals in it. That's kind of a longer project because I don't know what I even want to do with my vocals. I think I've got a decent singing voice, but I want to layer a bunch of stuff over it, so I'm working on that right now. But anyway, MGMT, great freaking band. They're just awesome.
It's hardly a single swim when all is well if the ticket sells.
Another good band to shout out. They had one album called Oracular Spectacular. It has Electric Feel and Kids on it. That whole album's really good. But their next album after that, Congratulations, I like that one a little bit more. They're kind of psychedelic electric music, which I really like. Back to my stuff. Okay, my thoughts are, after that little run through, this Mellotron, it needs to hold for longer. So we're going to select all of the notes. Thank you for saying it sounds good. I think so too. I think it sounds pretty good. I'm enjoying this. And thank you for hanging out. Nobody really ever comes to my streams, but I've especially never expected people to come to my streams. I guess I don't know where you're at. You could live somewhere where it's not 11:34 a.m., which is like right in the middle of everybody's workday, or school day, or maybe if you're still in school, you're off for summer break or anything. But so thank you for hanging out. That's super cool. I very much enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm gonna pull out all these notes. See how this sounds. Let me bring them in just a little bit. 8:40 p.m. Where are you at? You're across the country then, right? Are you in like Australia? Now, if you're in Australia, you'd be. I guess you could be. That's my guess. You're either in like Australia or India, or I guess you could be in the. I feel like the UK is like 12 hours ahead, though. I don't know. I used to work for an Australian business, and holy crap, what a nightmare. Not because they were Australian. Switzerland. Oh, awesome. That's freaking sweet. I don't know if you watch soccer. I'm a huge football, I guess, where you're at. I don't know. Is Switzerland in the Euros this year? I'm really excited for the Euros this year. I can't remember if Switzerland's in the Euro, if they made it in. I think they might have not qualified. Oh no, you guys did qualify. You're playing it with Scotland and Germany and Hungary. Awesome. That'd be a cool group. It's my other passion. Is soccer. I played a lot of soccer when I was in Mexico. So, but anyway, I worked for an Australian company once. But like I said, I do marketing. So I do social media management. Right now, I mostly just do Facebook ads, which I like doing. But you're not a football person. Yeah, that's okay. I wasn't until I lived in Mexico during the World Cup. And there it's like such a big cultural thing, and I got really into watching it. It's the only sport I do watch, though, and I like watching it because it is a little bit boring, so I can just kind of put it on in the background when I'm doing stuff and get excited when something happens. I don't watch American football, really. I'll watch the Super Bowl when it comes on, because I'll have buddies that do like parties and stuff, but sort of thing. Anyways, I've never been to Europe. My wife lived in Portugal for a year and a half, though, so she really loved it out there. We definitely want to take a trip out to Europe to go see everything. Just seems like a cool area, and it's cool how everything is so close together there. Like, I don't know, it's something that you don't realize if you live in America. America's just giant. Like, I moved one state over. I moved from Idaho to Washington, and one state away was a 12-hour, it was like a 14-hour drive from where we live to now. And that wasn't even like a quarter of the U.S., so it's just a big freaking country. Or like, we went to Florida this last week, which is on the opposite side of the country, and it was a 6-hour flight, like an expensive flight all the way out there. So I'm excited to go. We want to visit Europe just because everything's closer together. We can actually like see Germany, and then England, and then Switzerland, and then Austria, like all that stuff over and over again. I'm having a tough time deciding where in the mix I want this flute sound. Again, I'll probably worry about the mix a lot more later. Yeah, I'll worry about that all later. I think that sounds pretty cool. I'm almost wondering if this synth here should be down an octave. Let's bring it way up. Switzerland's expensive. Yeah, I can imagine. A lot of places are really expensive right now. Yeah, I know. Like I said, we should probably just go visit. And again, when we have more money. But we're doing it right now. Like I said, I do marketing. My wife is a microbiologist, so she makes medications at a lab just down the street. So we do all right for ourselves, which I'm glad for. Like I said, it's nice because I can pretty much work part-time and have time to do this kind of stuff, and we can still afford to live in our apartment. And being right on the ocean is a really nice spot, but we're definitely not like, we're not freaking loaded or anything. We were lucky that we both got degrees in fields that are needed, which is one thing, and that's a really tricky balance that you'll find. And I guess we were also really lucky that we went to a school that was pretty inexpensive. We paid like $3,500 a semester. I know in most European countries, school is subsidized or it's covered by the government. I wish we had more of that here. We were lucky we went to a school that's $3,500 a semester. A lot of in-state schools, you're paying like 20 grand a semester or something insane like that. Like you will be, and if you don't get a degree in something that's like high paying, you're probably gonna be in that debt for the rest of your life. My dad still has student loan debts. Well, that's mostly because he is paying that debt off last because it has the lowest interest rate, but still, it's a lot of freaking money to pay to go to school. And that's one thing that's really tricky because I would have loved to study music in college. Like, I love music and I've loved it for a long time. I've known I've loved it, but in my head, it was just like, that is not a viable career opportunity. And even if you do go into music as a career, you pretty much have to live in LA, and I don't really want to live in LA. I'd love to live close to Disneyland. My wife and I love Disney, but I would not want to just live in the middle of a big city. So I got my degree in marketing, and I enjoy marketing, but this right here is definitely my passion. Like, I love this crap. It's just awesome. And then my wife's degree is in microbiology, and she does really love what she does, and she's really freaking smart. I was a biology major when I first started college. I switched out of that crap after like 2 semesters because I was like, I cannot do this, dude. Like, this is too much. So I'm proud of her for sticking that out because that was definitely a little bit much for me. All right, we're going to bring this whole thing down an octave. We're going to subtract 12 tones, select and operate. Should bring us down an octave. To mess with that because I think there's like a little bit of lag time on the notes, so I might, again, it's gonna be really low in the mix, so you're not really gonna hear it a whole ton. But I also wonder if I want this to sound to be doing a more spacey, ethereal sound for this rather than, and this is pretty space sounding. That's pretty cool. Oh, we're not looped. It's really soft, but I kind of love that. I think that sounds sick. We need to bring it way up in the mix, but what is this awesome, like, let me put the place again. Oh, hold on. There's a weird feedback sound coming through though. Okay, let's put it all together. There's like a weird, it's playing some like overtones. I don't know if I like that. Might just be too quiet though. That better. Again, the mix is all over the place because I'm a Then I've also got this electric piano over here that I need to figure out what to do with. This right here. I like these like kind of arpeggios I'm playing on this electric piano. I think it sounds cool. The issue with it is that I don't know where it fits into the song. And I was trying to do a thing. I was trying to hit the seventh on it because I like the way 7 chords sound, and they're typically pretty important in lo-fi. But again, I think this is sounding much more. It's sounding much more like peppier than my typical stuff, and so I want to. So I wonder if my real gripe with it is just this right here. If I bring this up to a D, is it gonna just fix that for me? I like that actually. It's definitely gonna be in the song at some point. I don't want it at the very beginning, and I'm worried that by this point over here, we're doing too much. Who knows, maybe it would sound cool here. Like that, and I'd probably take this and pan it way over to the left speaker, so it's kind of just chilling in the back of your mind the entire time versus being kind of front and center. So I'll probably end up doing that, but maybe it does sound good there. I was worried there was gonna be too much going on with the adding in the organ and just adding so much stuff right away. But I think if I'm just really careful about the way that I pan this over where it's sitting physically in the mix, that'll be fine. We're gonna do this is crazy rock outbreak here. Maybe someday we'll do something nuts like that. I wonder if there is any sort of market for that, somebody who really wants. Well, I know there is. There's lots of sped up music because it sounds cool. I like how it sounds, but definitely going for something a lot more pensive, a lot more chilled this time. Maybe as a joke, I'll upload one of these just way sped up. Fast waltz. Fast waltz is sick. That is pretty sick. Maybe I will. I mean, I'm gonna record it all at 120 beats per minute. But honestly, maybe I'll upload when this is done, maybe I'll upload a faster version of it as well. That's just for the sake of it. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go through one more time and then we'll move on to the next section of the song. One last thing we gotta do before we move on to the next section. We've gotta make more of this electric piano here. This track, all that stuff we gotta, sorry, I cannot talk right now. We gotta do more of this. Using the chords that we know from our next section. Let's loop this right here. For some reason my loop's having a hard time. Perfect. Okay, let's record that. Great. Quantize that to the 8th note, which means it pulls it exactly to the beat. Again, it's really loud. Let's put all of our velocity down to 65. It's right here. Select and operate. Was this around 65 too? Or was that 50? Sorry. Let's change our velocity to 50. Select and operate. Boom. All the same. The only thing I'm wondering about that is, are these high notes up here too high? Let's leave them for now. All right, time to find some chords now. Time to move on to the next section. That's a really good bass, though. That'll be good. And we still need to do the intro as well, so I need to make sure I'm doing that. But so far, we're doing good. Also, the YouTube gods are being very kind to me right now with that short. To 82 subs. I do like that. So we got. Let's get a little bit of help here. G with A on top. Makes sense. That must be what it is. We're looking at. Cool. Right, my mail open. Bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum ba bo boom boom bum ba boom ba bo boom da da Okay, we know what we need to do now. That's good. Perfect. Oh, my guitar in the background. I do have a guitar. I used to be pretty good. I used to be decent at it, I should say. I could play chords. I'm not super great anymore. I really have not played in a very long time, and it's probably horrendously out of key. But I do play occasionally. Like I said, it's out of key right now. It's very out of tune. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I do have, if you go into like my shorts, my YouTube shorts, I do have some videos of me playing guitar and singing. But again, I just learned chords on it. But I do have a buddy that actually lives in Washington as well. He's on the other side of the state, but not for this, but for some other lo-fi stuff I'm working on. I'm actually gonna send him the tracks. He's gonna record guitar over it as well. So I'm super stoked about that. He's really good, so that'll be super fun. Yeah, I play piano, I sing. In middle school and high school and a little bit of college, I was a percussionist, so I can play the drum set. I can play like mallet instruments like the vibraphone, the xylophone, the marimba. I play the timpani, just the big 4 drums that you see in a concert. Those are pretty much all the instruments I play. I like percussion instruments. I loved being a percussionist. It was super freaking fun. My wife and I actually went to a middle school band concert yesterday, just a local one, just to check it out, and they had a ton of percussionists. It was super fun to see. But yeah, I was so I do play a couple instruments, and I've got kind of a couple fun ones hanging around here. In fact, I'm gonna go grab one of them just because it's fun. Real quick, be back in half a second. Yeah, so I just bought this, it's called a kalimba. You hear it in Avatar The Last Airbender. Sounds like that. I just bought that kalimba. They're really fun. They're not very expensive. I got it at a little shop next to us. And then, so yeah, I love little instruments, little like percussion based instruments. I also have like a little steel drum my wife got me for my birthday. I love that kind of stuff. If I had a lot of money, then this room would be full of instruments. It would look really nice and fancy. Oh, that's awesome. You got one in South Africa. That's sick. I know mine was, where was this made? Does it even say? It was made in China, so obviously not authentic. But that's super sick though. I would, I assume that's probably where they're from. But yeah, they're fun to play. They're cool. They're really kind of easy. It's just, the only thing is they're tuned to a single scale, right? So this one, they don't do like accidentals. So there's no whatever, B flat, A flat, C sharp, any of that stuff. It's just the just your 8 whole tones. So you can really play stuff that's like in C. It's good for a background instrument. But I thought it was just fun to have. I like playing it. And again, it's really recognizable now because they used it in Avatar The Last Airbender, so people like hearing it. Previously, my most viewed YouTube short was me playing the Avatar The Last Airbender thing and being like, you're probably nostalgic for this, until this weird like expectations versus reality short that I made on writing music, and now we're at 5,400 views on that one. And we got somebody in the comments being like, I play music on guitar, so mine is like your expectations. It's just fun. Like, you just write music. And I'm like, yeah, I know that some people don't grasp the concept of it. The point is, it's like, yes, writing music a lot of times can just be you messing around and playing stuff. I love doing that too. But if you're producing and creating music, then what ends up happening is that you're like, you spend a lot of time creating music actually on like some sort of software, and you spend a lot of time staring at software. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And it's gone long enough just to forget the chords. Actually, I did not. It's just G with an 11th down to D. What it sounds like. Let's do it. Part of me kind of wants to even go to the actual piano for that. And I might, but let's record it on this first, on the modern classic here. And the electric piano, because it's just easier. Cool. So quiet. These are all fixed at 65. Let's again, MIDI transform, fixed velocity, 65, select and operate, boom. All of our stuff is at the same velocity now. Something that's wild about Nintendo music is that the guy that wrote this is Koji Kondo. I'm pretty sure Koji Kondo did the Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack. Let me check. Super Mario Galaxy original soundtrack. Oh, gotcha. They're actually Mahito Yokota. And then Koji Kondo did 4 of them. Oh, that's good to know, actually. But anyway, it's cool because like Koji Kondo made a couple of these tracks, and he's like the guy that made the original Mario song. Like he's just still doing it, which is crazy. I almost wonder what the Comet Observatory, if he might have done Koji Kondo might have done this song. Let me just see. Oh, so this one that we're doing right now, the Comet Observatory music was actually written by Koji Kondo. So like I was saying, this is the guy who wrote this. Is literally the guy who made the original Super Mario Brothers theme. The ba 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 da da da. So for like 40 years, he's just been at the top of his game. I think this, when I was thinking about what next song I was going to do lo-fi of, a couple things came to my head, but I wanted to do something from Mario because I want to kind of cover all the different franchises in Nintendo because I want to eventually put together an album of like 12 to 15 songs that I can put up on Spotify and Apple Music. And I want it to just be like Nintendo lo-fi. Originally I was like, I'll just do all Legend of Zelda lo-fi, but I was like, I'll just mess around with more than just Zelda. And I was like, I need a Mario song, but nothing was really like speaking to me until I remembered Comet Observatory, which I just think is like one of the most beautiful pieces in any video game ever. It's just freaking, it's magical. So that's why we're doing it. But anyway, for this part, I think I might want to pull back, like really pull back the percussion in the background. Sorry if you can hear we have 2 birds that we got from a rescue place out in Idaho. They're just parakeets. They're tiny, but they're freaking loud. And they're extra loud when I'm not in the room with them because they want to hang out with me. But they'd be too loud if they were in here. And I do love them, but goodness, they're loud sometimes. So I know I want to pull back. I really want to pull back the percussion here. Maybe I'll just do something on the piano. Bro, Gabriel Lorrange, dude, that's legendary. Gabe, you're in here with Denzrolls. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's from Switzerland, dude. Sorry, you've walked into a thing here, my other Switzerland buddy. Gabe Lorrange is like one of my best friends, bro. He like is like one of my best friends from growing up, so. It must be a slow day at the office or something. Well, Gabe, if you want to hang out, we're doing this song from Super Mario Galaxy, which I'm sure you recognize. So that's. No, I'm telling you, dude, this other guy, Denzrolls, he's been pulling his weight, dude. He's been awesome. He's my most loyal viewer. Oh, you're from Vietnam. Wow. I had a buddy who lived in Vietnam for like a year. He lived in Hanoi. Well, that's awesome. And me and my Gabe, he's bored at work. He came into YouTube. There's like, America has a pretty big Asian American population, so I have a friend that I used to play Destiny with who is, he's from Vietnam. Well, sorry, he's Vietnamese American, so he's American Vietnamese, so I don't know if he ever lived in Vietnam, but his parents are from there. Anyway, we're going back to it. Gabe, bored at work. Gabe, I assume you're still working for, assessment services, yeah. This is for your last semester. That's wild. And then you and Kate gotta come live in Washington with us, dude. It's so sick out here. I guess I'll see you next month. We're coming to your wedding or your sealing, so it'll be awesome. screw it, we're recording it. Hey, graduating in 6 weeks, dude. That's freaking sick. Dude, I'm just slow going, and I guess I say I'm slow going in Western Governors. I've earned like, the past 2 months I've earned like 16 credits, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm at like 75 credits now, so I'm getting close to the end of it. Gabe, thank you for the encouragement. Like I said, I'll see you next month. It's super awesome. Mr. Lorraine, for the legend. Sorry, I'm just checking my YouTube short that's freaking popping the heck off now. Still on new subs. Okay. Yeah, you can give me a call anytime you want, Gabe. I don't do much. Saying my job is like super chill. I finished all my work for the week like a day ago, so I've just been chilling out. Okay, let's record this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Ah. Sorry about that. I went a little crazy for a second. I should have done in the first place. I'll just throw these in here now. Okay. Add that. Let's quantize this. To the 8th. Okay. Cut that out. Let's take this whole thing, put it to 65 velocity as well. Like I said, we'll mess with all that later. I just like doing the, getting the velocity normal, like standardizing it all at first. Still a little bit loud, but again, we'll bring that down in the mix here in a second. And we're definitely going to be doing something nuts at that last part. Bum, bum, bum. We're going to be, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be some crazy freaking run. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have some crazy run way in the background that's just bouncing from the right ear to the left ear and back. Something like that. I got to finish this part because I'm excited to freaking do that part right here. But we might even go, instead of triplets, we might go 30-second triplets and just freaking go insane on that crap. Awesome. Let me send a quick message off real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Okay. And I'm going to respond to a comment here on my most recent short. Again, a lot of people they're at war with me, saying that music doesn't have to be you just messing around and clicking stuff all day long. And like I said, it does not have to be like that, but a lot of it is if you're mixing your own stuff. Ba-dum, da-dum, ba-dum. Oh, that's sweet, dude. Okay. I also have no idea how long the latency is on my stream. It could be very long. We're gonna have to have that come in too. What's interesting, here's a little, I was gonna create a short on this as well. I honestly still might, but I honestly still might do the do a video on this, but I'm just gonna wait until the short that I'm doing freaking chills out a bit, because right now it's popping off. But so what I do is I take any YouTube short you see from me, I'll post it on Instagram, I post it on YouTube Shorts, and I also post it on TikTok. And so right now you're getting marketing brain, Davis, but it's interesting to see how the different platforms work. So for instance, TikTok, my most recent video, has 246 views, which in TikTok terms is like 0 views. TikTok pretty much gives you 200 free views. It pushes it out to that many people. Anybody who even scrolls past it counts as a view. If people engage with it or watch it for a long time, then it pushes it out to more people. So 200 views is pretty much nothing, but you will get it almost right away. On Instagram, I have 400 views, but again, that counts kind of people scrolling past, so it's a little bit less intense. And I will say I've got 500 followers on Instagram. It's just my personal Instagram account, so I've got family members and people that watch my stuff. And then what was really interesting about this most recent short on YouTube was I almost considered deleting and reposting because it picked up 0 views. I mean, it didn't hit 100 views until really it was 7 hours into it being posted. And then all of a sudden it just popped off out of nowhere. So that I thought was kind of interesting. I personally like I like YouTube the best out of all of them. I don't like TikTok because again, it just kind of puts your stuff out there, and if anything, if like people stay watching it, then you get if people stay watching, then it'll push it out to more people. But it's just such a saturated place to post your content that I feel that I don't like. YouTube is the place that I like the best, the platform I understand the most. YouTube all the way, because it gives your content more legs, which I like. But we're gonna record more music now. Bum bum bottom. Let's bring our loop way back down to just these 2 bars. Let's do it. I feel good enough about that. If we mess it up, we can always just redo it in the piano roll. I played it right, the pedal just for some reason didn't. I probably registered the pedal press from earlier. We'll put that in afterwards. We had 2 more viewers coming, but they dropped out right all of a sudden. I don't blame them. Anyway, let's quantize this. Here we go. Let's put the pedal in. I'm gonna put the pedal in here. And let's put the those lower notes in as well. Probably should have done that before because, yeah, look, quantizing is really weird with new notes that you've played. You can't just quantize the whole thing together. And it's going to tell me it is quantized when it's not. That's one part I need to figure out. But anyway, this is a good example of manually adjusting note length. So in our piano roll here, it typically breaks it up to like the 16th note of every single bar. So if you're wanting to put something exactly on the beat, you're just gonna take it and move it onto the beat like that, manually. So it's good if you ever need to clean up anything. Sometimes this happens too. So take a look here. It will not let me put it directly on. You have 2 options for what you can do. The first is to go up here, drag this way the heck out. Literally just drags out. It's like it's pretty much a zoom in function, and then you can put it right on there. The other option, oh, wrong button. The other option is to just drag the note length out because that'll snap as well. But for some reason, why is this? There we go. But even that, see, look, it's not quite on. If we take a look here, it's just before the beat. Just drag it out. Drag it out like that. You can just see it's just barely before. And it's not super noticeable, but I tend to hear that stuff when I'm playing, so I like to make sure it's just sitting in there perfectly. Let's pull this back down. Then what we're gonna do now is standardize the velocity. because again, that gets really loud. Bring it all down to 65. Perfect. Amazing. This note's too short. Oh, sorry. Select the single note. Let's try it again. And I'll drag this one out for the heck of it, even though it doesn't sound bad. Luckily, we can just copy and paste this one now. It's the same melody. And if it is not, then it's a slight variation that I can just manually change. That's one of the things that I think is really cool about doing music. Sorry, I just got like 400 views on that short in like 15 minutes. That's crazy. That thing, I'm telling you, it's popping the heck off. That's crazy. Anyone subscribing? No new subscribers? That's okay, that's okay. Got a new view on my lo-fi song, though. I do like that. This sounds like a random song. Oh, can you hear an echo on it? Are you hearing an echo sound? Let me test it on my phone here. Well, it's not a Randwimp song. It's a Mario song. I don't know what the overlap is on Randwimps and Mario, but you know, sure. You might recognize that part's a little bit tricky. This is the part that you might recognize. The voices are taking over, bro. Okay, let's just restart it. I don't know what we asked them. The voices are talking over. Dude, that's terrifying. Let me try this. Okay. Tell me, does it sound better? Does it sound better now? You guys are pretty far behind. Like the latency's pretty bad right now. But I guess let me just check it on my own real quick through my phone. You guys are pretty far behind. Like the latency's pretty bad right now. Oh, I do hear what you're talking about. But I guess let me just check it on my own real quick through my phone. Make this with death metal. I sound like a robot now. You figured me out. This has been an AI stream the entire time. I do hear what you're talking about. Make this with death metal. I sound like a robot now. You figured me out. This has been an AI stream the entire time. I think it sounds a little bit better. I unplugged my second microphone. That might have been why. But I'm just gonna reset the audio capture real quick. Oh wait. I think it sounds better. Honestly, can I make this with death metal? Dude, the other guy in the chat loves Metallica. I mean, Metallica's not death metal, but we could do something. Let's, just for the freaking heck of it right now, as a joke, we're just gonna do that really quick. Wait, Vist, is that you? Yeah, that's what I thought, because I unplugged my second microphone, but it's just weird because like if you look at my OBS here, I was hoping I could restart my audio capture. Let's try this. I don't know if it's let's I was hoping I could restart my audio capture. Let's try this. Oh, you can't see my OBS window. I see what you guys are saying though. That's wild. Okay, now we're gonna retry. I think this is a little bit better. Okay, I think it sounds a little bit better. You might just get robot voice for a second. DC snuff film, whist yourself. I'm actually surprised I don't get that reference because I've watched freaking. I don't know if you guys have seen Wendigoon's like most disturbing movies video. It's like 4 hours long. I've watched that thing like 5 times just to fall asleep to it every night. And he definitely talks about a lot of snuff films in there. So, you know. Oh, gotcha. It's fun. I'm getting all these freaking hard metal fans in here. That's awesome. I mentioned this earlier. My favorite bands are like, it's a teen dying in Minecraft album. But I love like emo punk music. I think it's really fun. So I listen to a lot of that. But okay, now as a joke, we're just gonna death metal this thing really quick. Nothing too excessive. We're just gonna put in a double kick bass. Pretty depressed. Oh, that's honestly nuts and pretty depressed. Those are 2 great freaking names for your YouTube account. Emo indie, yeah. My favorite band's Modern Baseball. I love Modern Baseball. It's like they only have 3 albums, but I've got all of it on vinyl out in my other room, and I freaking love them. I love any music that sounds like it was written in somebody's garage, where it's just like a bunch of depressed kids from the Midwest singing about girls and stuff. I just think it's super fun. Okay. Pretty depressed is your artist name, or is it honestly nuts? I know I would. Oh, American football's awesome. I listen to a lot of Mom Jeans as well. They're not quite on Modern Baseball tier. I like Marietta, Summer Death, that whole. Oh, honestly, that's. Oh, it's your. That's awesome. I really like Marietta. They have an album called Summer Death that's kind of like essential listening. Is for like any sort of emo indie, and then Camping in Alaska's I forget what Camping in Alaska's album is called. That's just freaking genius. There's like a couple, because when people ask me what kind of music I listen to, I'm like, I like emo music. Oh, Please Be Nice by Camping in Alaska is another album that's kind of like quintessential listening. Mom Jeans is pretty good. They kind of started. I haven't heard of Into It Over It. I'll have to listen to them. But Mom Jeans kind of started almost as like a modern baseball cover band, but they've got some really good stuff. I'm trying to think about like what some of my favorite Mom Jeans songs are. Let me pull them up real quick. You guys are getting major ADHD brain Davis today. That's that's 100% me right now. Mom Jeans is very much like. Oh, they have another album. I just haven't. They have 2 more albums I still need to listen to. I was saying earlier, I was like, we can listen to this stuff here. It's the MGMT. Yeah, I've been on such a freaking MGMT kick lately. Holy crap! I'm trying to write a song that sounds very similar to MGMT. 3 songs. You probably know Kids, Electric Feel, and was even the third one at that point. What would it be? Congratulations, Brian Eno. You gotta listen to, if you're gonna listen to MGMT, you need to listen to Congratulations. So I was in high school. Well, it's weird because I was not in high school when this came out. I was in like middle school when this all came out. And it's funny because Oracular Spectacular came out, which had Electric Feel and Kids. And Electric Feel, it's a very radio-friendly song, and they wrote it for that purpose. They almost wrote it as a joke. Yeah, Congratulations was awesome. But they almost wrote Electric Feel as a joke because they were like, we just want to make something that's super radio popular. And it worked. It was incredibly popular. And now like every indie electronic band tries to recreate Electric Feel because I think that song is genius. It's so well produced. It's so well mixed. It's just amazing. I love it to death. But yeah, MGMT is great. Definitely listen to all of Oracular Spectacular because there's some really great stuff on it. I don't know where it went. It's on here. You can see my weird music here. I was gonna play Mom Jeans is what I was doing. Mom Jeans is like trying to find like a cool.
It's hard not to look, but I can't help from wondering what you're up to now. But it's not my place.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like Oppenheimer with the atomic bomb, they released this this like plague upon the world of crappy electronic bands. It's like what people don't realize is what made MGMT so good was not just that they made good catchy music, it's that they were really good artists. Like they understood subtlety to like a really good extent, and so their stuff just has so much taste to it. But yeah, they've just spawned an absolute wave of garbage because again, for the past 10 years longer, everybody's been trying to recreate Electric Feel. That's all they want. So yeah, it's funny. They have some lighter stuff too. This song is a great album finisher.
So I can be brutally honest with you about everything I'm still so afraid of. Being there is hard when things eventually fall.
The same things keep happening to me, even in my dreams. Okay, we'll play this one.
Listen to you old voice.
And it does, his voice does sound like him. I'm vibing this right now.
Secrets that I never thought I'd tell.
This sounds like the guy from Marietta. I'm definitely downloading this. I'll go through the whole album later. That stuff's totally my jam as well. That's super cool. They sound like Marietta. The guy's voice does. Another Summer Death is again like their kind of Is it the same singer? This song is so freaking good. They're like the kings of gang vocals, so just like a huge crowd of people singing. I love that stuff. I feel like there's one other band I was gonna show as well that was related to, that was kind of lesser known. Maybe I forgot. I'm trying to think about who my emo artists are that I listen to. American football. Oh, I was gonna show my favorite song. Another great band is Sorority Noise. I don't think I can spell sorority. There we go. I don't listen to a lot of Troye Sivan, actually. I've just heard him on some like Lav stuff before. You can tell my music taste is like all over the heck, dude. Underground band Tame Impala? Yeah, I never heard of them. If anybody ever asks me what my taste in music is, or like why I like emo music, you just go to Forgettable by Sorority Noise and you show them the song Nick Quah's Christmas Party, because it is like the perfect sample of emo music.
I spend a lot of time above water. In fact, I spend
We
most of
start
my
off
time
with our
in my
sad
room.
little soft guitar section.
Lately that's made me wonder if I've given up on trying to be someone new, 'cause I don't like who I see each morning when I look in the mirror. In fact, it's the only thing I fear,
And yourself.
that I'm empty inside these bones, and I'm not scared of ghosts. I embrace them all as friends, 'cause one day I'll be dead, and they will know my name. So I've been counting down my life, existing in hours, to see what I have left. And if I see 25, I'll be surprised.
And then we go to
Bury them alive. Why had I thought that
perfect emo sampler music, emo alternative sampler. That's what you want to show somebody if you want to ask what kind of music you're into. But like I was saying this earlier to Denzrels, I am into a whole bunch of different kind of music. Like one of my absolute favorite bands is the Deer Hunter, and they're super interesting. They're like almost experimental. They do a lot of like orchestration. Like, and their songs all flows and music. Denver, are you saying? You're probably referring to Nick Quah's Christmas Party. Yeah, that song's amazing. Please listen to that. You can feel like the strings in the background. These are full orchestra for this album. Dude, yeah, he's really talented. And like it's such a yeah, I don't know about Dave Matthews, but The Deer Hunter is actually very Pink Floyd inspired. It shows a little bit less on this, but like if you listen to Wish You Were Here, which is my favorite Pink Floyd album, you can hear a lot of influence in the Deer Hunter's music. Yeah, this singer's insane. I'm trying to think, is there anybody here who has a ton of... Oh, I was also saying, I won't talk over it more, but the songs in this one, they almost always flow together, so you can't tell the transition between them, which I love. Like, we'll hear the transition here in a second. Oh, I love Car Seat Headrest, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I love them. They're not my favorite band, but I do really like them. Anyway, smooth transition here. Straight into the next one. Oh my goodness, dude. This is so good. You guys have cursed me to listen to this all day long. But yeah, they just go insanely hard for like... Yeah. I know. I'm a big fan of smooth transition music. When I wrote and I'm a big fan of like reprising stuff. So when I wrote my first album back when I was in college, at the very end of it, I put one song that took every single song, combined them all together, and just became one big thing. I really enjoy that. I think it works really well. And that's the thing with these albums. There's 5 different acts. It's all one big story though. And you'll hear themes from old songs coming up into new ones. It's genius level music writing. This band's actually, they're in Seattle, and I live 2 hours from Seattle, so I definitely going to be able to like, you know, we'll be able to go over there and see it. Making smooth song transitions, you have 2 options, and the only way, the real way to make smooth song transitions is just, there's 2 methods of doing it. One is to take 2 songs and connect them together using, even if they're in the same key, it's not that bad. If they're in different keys, then you have to modulate the key. Death Cab for Cutie is like my childhood, dude, or like middle school, high school. I like grew up on them. Seattle has such great music. I live like 2 hours from Seattle and 2 hours from Portland, and Portland has like Modest Mouse. They've got some great music down there as well. And I'm lucky because I get to live close to those places, but in a small town right on the beach, and it's really awesome, and I love it. And I keep telling people to move here, but I also tell people not to move here because I like how small it is. Death Cab is just freaking great. Like, they do so much cool stuff. I wonder if I know anything if I can play anything by Death Cab, if I know anything. Like, I feel like I've got to know something by them, right? I've definitely played some Death Cab before. Maybe I don't. But anyway, smooth transitions. So where are you at? Are you in like Australia or Indonesia or Asia or somewhere? Because Denzrels is from Switzerland. We Look Like Giants is awesome. We look like giants in the back of our grace of comeback. Denzrels is from Switzerland. And I figured if I was going to get viewers, they were going to be from the other side of the world right now because... Oh, Asia, awesome. Anyway, I figured you guys would be from the other side of the world because you can see up here, it's like 1 p.m. in where I'm at. I'm on the west coast of the U.S. So I figured if I was going to I wasn't expecting any viewers today. I just like recording these because I'm going to be recording music anyway. I figure I might as well live stream. So yeah. And then I got some cool viewers here. Okay. Well, I've loved talking about music. I do love talking about it, but time has now come to make some music. And I got another subscriber. 84 now. 2 more. That could have been one of you guys. I don't know. Oh, was my short stalling now? YouTube is giving me all it's gonna give me, all the juice. We'll see. All right, back to making music. That loop is incorrect. Bum, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Okay, good. Let's cook it again. That's short. I really do believe one kind of important thing. Porter Robinson. One thing that is kind of important in music, I really do think is like, just like I think in order to learn how to write music effectively, you need to intently listen to the music you're listening to. So not just listening to it, but really diving in deep as to what the sounds are and why you like it, why it sounds so appealing. And that'll help you, when you're making your own music, you'll start recognizing that and be like, oh, I like this. I like what this is doing. Like sound-wise, sonically, I like where the mix is at. That stuff helps you. But then I really do believe that when you are creating your music, you kind of have to tune all that stuff out. Like, because your music is your music. And obviously this is based off of a Nintendo song, so I know what that song sounds like, but I want it to sound like it's my own. And that's one thing that's kind of funny is I rarely listen to like lo-fi, especially video game lo-fi. I used to, but I really don't at all anymore. And it's actually because I write lo-fi now, because I want my stuff to sound like it's my own, and I want those ideas to come from my head and not just be imitating what somebody else is doing. Especially because I think my stuff sounds quite a bit different than most lo-fi. It's like, you know, when it comes to making lo-fi, it's like I don't want my stuff to sound like everybody else's. I want it to sound like it's my own, like it's unique. And I really think you kind of have to tune all that stuff out. The other great way, and I'm going to champion this for the rest of my life, the other great way to learn how to write music is to literally recreate songs that you know. Like, let's open this up real quick. I have a short on my channel about this, about Redbone. Redbone by Childish Gambino, also an amazing freaking song. Fun fact, the guy that writes his music with him and the guy that like mixes and produces his stuff is Ludwig Göransson, who just won an Oscar for his Oppenheimer score. Dude's nuts. But anyway, recreating music I think is just really fun. Like, we listen to this here. I try to do it from memory as well. So yeah, I think that's a really great way to learn how to write music as well. Yeah, no, covering stuff is great. That's how I started as well. I mean, I don't know if you were in the stream when I was mentioning it, but I grew up playing piano. My parents kind of forced me to take piano lessons, which I'm very grateful for. And then when I was in middle school and high school, I was a percussionist. And then I just kept playing piano. I like playing stuff by ear. And then when I got to college, I started writing my own stuff. And now, I mean, most of the stuff I'm doing right now is like produce stuff on my software, but I still play. We have a second piano You know what an album was until 2021? Yeah, I'm a big album listener as well. I really like listening to like a full album, like appreciating that whole thing as like a work of art. So I'm a stickler for that. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Sorry, you guys are having to listen to this on loop. I'm just fixing something here. Oops. Can I get rid of that thing? So I'm trying to read Trick by Alex. Sorry, Alex G. Gotcha. Yeah, I've listened to some of his stuff, I think. When it shows my chat, it doesn't. It's like really obnoxious the way that works. Okay, we're gonna record this. It's just the same chords, but on piano this time. And we're going down here, right? All right, Dendril, see ya. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was super awesome. I very much appreciate it. You've made it a lot more fun for me today. So, yeah, it's probably freaking late for you, but yeah. Thanks for having you. That was awesome, man. Immediately plays piano in the wrong octave. Perfect. Let's quantize that. Okay, well now we can start having fun with this because we can start putting some other instruments in. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. But I haven't listened to a ton of Black Country New Road, but I do have a friend who's a huge fan of them. He was actually in the stream earlier. He's still out in the state next to me. He's still in college, so he's out there. But kind of like that. Bum bum ba da da dum. Bottom. And I also gotta think about what I want to do with the drums. What am I doing right now with them? Sad emo Gen Z. I think I'm technically Gen. Yeah, I am Gen Z. I was born in '99. But dude, I could not tell you what a skibbity toilet is to save my life. I told Dendrils this, but after high school I went to Mexico for a year, And dude, that's where my pop culture knowledge like completely fell off, and so I like have no idea what any of that crap means now. It is funny how that just happens to you when you get older. Like you just fall off trends. Like you just don't understand them anymore. But I think it's also to do with the fact that I do not use TikTok like ever. Yeah, like never use TikTok. I post like all the shorts that I post on YouTube. I do cross post to TikTok, but they never do well over there. My most recent short has been doing really well, but it's kind of stalling right now. And by doing really, it's doing very well for me. I mean, I'm almost at 7,000 views on it, which has just been amazing. I'm getting close to, I have 84 subs now. I'm getting close to 100, which I'm super stoked about. I just started posting a couple weeks back. Yeah, my wife uses TikTok, but I'm such a YouTube guy. That's just what I've used YouTube for years. I like fall asleep to it every night, so. No, YouTube, don't kill my short. It's killing it. Falling asleep to YouTube. That is a great lyric right there. And it's true. It reflects my life experience. So, what I'm thinking about doing for this section is really taking the beat and like, so if we were in 4/4, I would just have everything to make it like pull back and just like, instead of it being on eighths, it would be on fourths instead. But it's tricky to do in 3/4. I wonder if the song even was written in 3/4 if it was in 6/8. It sounds like it's 3/4 because it's a traditional waltz, but you could definitely write it in 6/8. Now I'm gonna say it's 3/4. Waltzes aren't really written in 6/8. Pretty much what I was doing before, right? Well, I was going double that, so let's go over here. We're gonna do that. Cool. I totally get what you're saying about writing something in the same. I used to have an issue where I'd write all my songs in the key of F. Like I would always write in F. I can play other keys, but F is always the one that just felt right to me and it sounds the best in my voice. And I was exactly the same. For a while I was only writing stuff in either 3/4 or 6/8. I was just writing everything in 3. And I've been trying to do more 4/4 stuff just to just like, because I need to write in other keys and stuff. I wrote a piano piece once in 5/4. I don't know if I can remember it. It was very simple, but it was in 5/4, which is cool. See if I can remember and play real quick. How do you can't? Yeah. Anyway, that's my fun top 10 pianist Mozart scared. Yeah, Mozart. If Mozart wants to come for the throne, then he can challenge me one-on-one. But I doubt it. I haven't heard from Mozart in like 200 years, dude. Dude fell off. Yeah, Mozart's he's welcome to come take the throne. But anyway, I think that works well. Having the drums step back like that. And I just need something really low in the background to kind of fill the empty space. Yeah, Bell. I think so. I was messing around with one earlier. The issue that I have with it is that if it's not like one of the only things in the mix, you tend to only hear the overtone of the bell, which makes it sound like it's out of tune. It makes it sound like it's off key. So I'm just like wary about putting it in. Like, definitely for like some accents on notes, but I'm really more looking for something like consistent in the background, like a drone. But I think it's sounding really good. And then I'm almost like home free on this crap too, right? Because then I think it just repeats and we can just start. That's one thing I really love about lo-fi, and especially video game music, is it's repetitive in the sense that it keeps doing the same step over and over again. So you can essentially write your couple sections and then extend the project out and just start like making variations on it instead, doing different instruments, different sounds. I really like that part of the process. So I will definitely be doing that. And it is funny too, because my lo-fi stuff tends to be a lot longer than normal. Like most people who create lo-fi will say like a minute 30 to 2 minutes is the like the sound, like the ideal length. But my stuff tends to be like 3 or 4 minutes. But again, I just, like I said, I don't like listening to other people's lo-fi. I tend to just kind of do it how I think is best, how I think it would work the best. So that's why I do it. YouTube's totally killing my most recent short now, but it did well. I think I got 8 subs from it. I'm up to 84 now. I'm getting really close to 100, and that's awesome. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but I kind of really want like a freaking insane arpeggio run, like way up from the top, back here, back up, and I want it to pan. Yeah, you're right. Lo-fi is so unbelievably broad. It just stands for low fidelity, so like low quality music. When I'm talking about lo-fi, typically it's like I'm talking about like video game lo-fi, which is typically just like almost like electric jazz is the best way I could describe it, like electric lounge jazz. Anyway, I want something crazy that just goes from like way up high, way down low, and then I want it to pan back and forth between the right headphone and the left headphone, right speaker, left speaker. I've just got to think about how I want to do that. So we are in G and D. We're starting G, right? Record with the potato, yeah, exactly. Let's try that. Pull this way down. Yeah, that's the plan, is to get this arpeggio in here. It's too slow. Can't pick out the beat at all. Oh, go up. It does sound cool, but it's definitely not. It's not in the that definitely needs to be the end of it. That's with the last one. Pure Blood Ableton. I've never used... Is Ableton free? I've like looked into it before, and I've used it a little bit at a friend's house. Oh, you can try it for free. Yeah, I'm a Logic man. Pretty much entirely at this point. I don't know. It's just its user interface I really enjoy, and it's not free. Gotcha. And really, it's like the best DAW that you're gonna use, the best software. It's just gonna be either the one that appeals to you the most or the first one you use. Like I just learned on Logic, and they gave you a 90-day free trial, and then I shelled out $200 for it once it went out, once I lost my trial. It's definitely going to be those chords. But then because I don't just want it to have it go, I don't want to have it just like bouncing back and forth, because I just did that on my last one. I definitely want this to sound different. Oh yeah, FL Studio, I can't. Yeah, I've tried FL Studio. I cannot stand it. Logic. To me, it's just clean. I'm kind of an Apple shill. I use a lot of Apple products. I'm on an iMac right now, but I just like their interface for Logic. I think it just feels nice. But again, it was like the first one I really learned on, so that's why I'm gonna like it the most. Yikes, it's re-record. I'm a sheep. I guess I am. I was like brainwashed into it. My dad was such an Apple person. Well, I mean, and I'm really like Apple by circumstance because I got this iMac for a job that I had. Yeah, you're right. Ableton does look like it's stuck in 2007, but no, it's a totally fine software. Like, I think Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton, whatever you want to use is totally cool. I'm just Logic interface to me is just super appealing, and again, that's what I learned on. But I was gonna say that I'm on an iMac right now, it's like an M1 from a couple of years ago, but yeah, I got it from a job. Bump, bump, bump. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Should be eighth triplets, right? Yeah. I think. Let's see. Exactly. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I got it for free. I only worked there for like a couple months, and then they let me keep the computer when I left. So it is like a $2,000 computer that I got, which is really nice. So I feel like I have to use it. But yeah, and I'm just I just like my Apple stuff. It is like they do freaking they like trap you into their ecosystem though. They're like, oh, you like this? Now you can only use Apple stuff now. All right, man. Well, it was awesome having you here. That was super cool. Super stoked that you came by. I'm probably gonna end stream soon anyway. I might just hang on just for a little bit longer, but yeah. See you, dude. That was awesome having you. See ya. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ma. Just copy you. Write down the 0 viewers. We're gonna do something crazy on this. octave? But that might work. Do that. Well, I think now that our viewers are gone, I think I might end stream. But it was a ton of fun. I very much enjoyed it. It was awesome having people in the chat. That was super great. So if you did tune in, or if you're watching this really long VOD, then thank you. This has been a ton of fun. Yeah, so this song will probably go up. My guess is tomorrow, maybe tonight if I can finish it. I do have a lot of time. I'm making dinner tonight for my wife, but besides that, I definitely have time. So I might put this up tonight. I got some really great traction on that short, and I do need to create more shorts, so I'll definitely be doing that. But yeah, that was awesome. So thank you guys so much if you're watching. Thank you so much to the couple viewers that tuned in. I know we had Pretty Depressed and Tens Rolls, and my buddy Gabe that did all that came in as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was a ton of fun. I'm sure you'll catch me around streaming some other time. I don't really have a regular schedule about it, but I might stream tomorrow depending on what I'm feeling like. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.